Chiefs Kingdom, let's roll. We've got one game left in the preseason, and then we get to regular season football. And I want to talk about the AFC West today and who has improved the most and what has changed between 2024 and 2025 for the division. Let's get started with the last place team from 2024, the no longer Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders. Old habits die hard. The Raiders were 4-13 in 2024. As far as key offseason additions, they got Pete Carroll. He's now their head coach. He's the oldest head coach in the NFL, but he's also a very good head coach. They got Ashton Giante in the draft, picked up Geno Smith at the quarterback position. They had a haul of a draft. They had 11 draft picks, of which they picked up a ton of defensive players, both in free agency and in the draft. So they improved a number of places on their team, but who did they lose? They lost Robert Spillane, very good linebacker for them last year, and Nate Hobbs, cornerback for them last year. Most importantly and most devastatingly, they lost Gardner Minshew. So I don't know what the Raiders are going to do without Gardner Minshew. Now the Chiefs have Gardner Minshew, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop Kansas City at all just from him being on the team. Obviously, I'm joking, but I was a huge Minshew Mania fan. I'm glad he's on the Chiefs, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play Friday in the last preseason game. In 2024, the AFC West teams played the AFC North and the NFC South. So the Raiders in 2024 played those two divisions as well as the AFC West opponents, and then their bonus 3 games were versus the Rams, the Dolphins, and the Jaguars. In 2025, the Raiders will play the AFC West again, the AFC South, and the NFC East. Now, looking at this configuration, do I think the Chiefs and the rest of the AFC West will have an easier schedule in 2024 compared to 2025? And I'm going to say no. I think the NFC East is very good, and I think the NFC East is better than the AFC North was last year. I think the NFC East this year will be better than the AFC North was last year. And then the NFC South and AFC South are a wash. They're both about the same. So the schedule is a little bit more difficult in 2025 for the AFC West than it was last year. The 3 teams outside of the AFC South and NFC East that the Raiders will play on their schedule will be the Chicago Bears, New England Patriots, and the Cleveland Browns. So last year the Raiders were 4-13, and I am predicting the Raiders have an improved year and they will go 8-9. So I think that they will win 8 games, improve by 4 games, and miss the playoffs in 2025. But they will be a better team. And the reason I say that is because they improved the 2 most important positions or groups or elements of a football team, and that's the head coach quarterback pairing. I think that Pete Carroll watched Geno Smith last year in Seattle, thought he did a pretty good job, and wanted to bring him on board. And we'll see what they can do. But I think the Raiders team is going to be much improved over last year's 4-13 output. Moving on to the 3rd place team in the AFC West from last year, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos finished 10-7. Now, the Broncos had a strong finish to their season, but if you would have asked me before I started looking at the records from last year what the Broncos finished as, how good their record was, I thought they finished 2nd in the AFC West. And I thought they had about 11 wins. They did not do as well as I thought they did. So there's this perception coming out of NFL circles and the talking heads that the Broncos are very good. And the fact of the matter was last year they had Bo Nix play a very good year, just under 4,000 yards passing, 29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 93.3 rating, 6.7 yards per attempt. Very good year for a rookie quarterback. But with that and their awesome defense, they still finished 3rd in the AFC West. And they still lost 7 games. So kind of I want to throw a little water on this Denver fire a little bit and say, yes, I think they will be good. And I think they will be a little better next year too. But I do not think that they are Super Bowl contenders. The one thing that's going to flip the script for me with the Broncos is if Bo Nix comes out and has another very good year. Because if that happens, then maybe their window is starting to open with Bo Nix on his rookie contract. As far as players gained for the Broncos, the big one was safety Talanoa Hufanga. Like, that's a big pickup. They also picked up linebacker Dre Greenlaw, tight end Evan Ingram, and running back J.K. Dobbins. They had 7 draft picks, most notable their first-round cornerback Jahdae Barron. And this should be a defensive group that's pretty dang good, and a defensive group that should be improved from last year. They lost linebacker Cody Barton, running back Javonte Williams, and quarterback Trayvon Smith. So, in my opinion, the Broncos' offense stayed about the same. Their defense got a little better. And if Bo Nix doesn't regress, he doesn't have a sophomore slump, this team should be improved. In 2024, once again, the Broncos played the AFC North and the NFC South, and their extra 3 games were versus Seattle, the Jets, and the Indianapolis Colts. In 2025, they'll be playing the AFC South, NFC East, and they'll see the Bengals, the Jets, and the Packers as their additional 3 games. It's a little more challenging than last year. However, because of improvements to their defense, my faith in Sean Payton, and I think Bo Nix does improve a little bit, I have the Broncos finishing the year with a very good 12-5 record. Moving on to the Chargers. The Chargers were 11-6 last year and got second place in the AFC West. And as far as players they gained, they got guard Mekhi Becton. They brought back Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen had 15 games with the Bears last year and 744 yards. I believe he turns 34 in 2025. So he was somewhat productive on a lackluster Bears team last year. So maybe there's a little left in the tank, and he can help Justin Herbert out. They also gained cornerback Dante Jackson, cornerback Benjamin St-Juste, tight end Tyler Conklin, and then 9 draft picks, of which my favorite draft pick for the Chargers, Omarion Hampton. This was one of my draft crushes. I don't get draft crushes very much, and I really like this running back coming out of college, and I really like him in Harbaugh's system that they're going to want to run in Los Angeles with the Chargers. The Chargers did lose Joey Bosa and running back Gus Edwards. So once again, I would say, like the Broncos, the Chargers did improve. And last year, the problem with the Chargers wasn't their defense. They had one of the best point-per-game defenses in the NFL last year. Their problem was giving Justin Herbert help. So they're trying to bring back old friends, in addition to Ladd McConkey, to help with the passing game. The question is, do Mike Williams and Keenan Allen have enough left in the tank to make a difference? If this offense can get moving with Hampton, Williams, Keenan Allen, and Justin Herbert, this is going to be a pretty good Chargers team. If Keenan Allen and Mike Williams cannot put good numbers up, and they struggle on the field, they get locked down easily, and then the defenses that are playing Chargers can put more in the box and stop the run, stop Omarion Hampton, then I think that this Chargers offense is going to struggle yet again. Their defense is still going to be good. So I would say the Chargers got a little better, and it depends on their wide receivers, if they got Justin Herbert enough help. In 2024, the 3 extra teams that the Chargers faced were the Arizona Cardinals, Tennessee Titans, and the New England Patriots. Very easy for a second-place team. In 2025, the Chargers will face the AFC South, the NFC East, and then the Dolphins, Vikings, and Steelers. That's a little bit more difficult. As far as my record projection for the Chargers goes, I have the Chargers sitting at 11-6. And lastly, that brings me to the Chiefs, who finished the year 15-2 last season, where one of those games was a game where they didn't play any starters. They gained Christian Fulton, cornerback, offensive tackle Jalen Moore, defensive tackle Jerry Tillery, quarterback Gardner Minshew, the difference maker. And then they drafted Josh Simmons in the draft, who also is going to be a huge difference maker at left tackle. They lost Joe Tooney. They lost Justin Reed. They lost Wharton and Noddy on the defensive line. And in my opinion, did the Chiefs get better? I will say yes, they did, because the offensive tackle was such a problem for the Chiefs last year. In addition to that, they had several players out on injury reserve. And having players back is going to be a huge boost to this offense. I'm not going to give you the Chiefs' record prediction, but I will tell you in my next video what I think the Chiefs' record will be, and I will break it down game by game. I do think that the Chiefs will not finish fourth in the AFC West. I don't think they will finish third in the AFC West in 2025. I don't think they will finish second in the AFC West in 2025. So using your deductive reasoning, you can figure out where I had the Chiefs once again in 2025 in terms of the AFC West division standings at the end of the year. Now's your time in the comments to let me know what you think about my projections for each of these teams. How do you feel about the Raiders going 8-9? How do you feel about the Chargers going 11-6? How do you feel about the Broncos going 12-5? Let me know down in the comments if you think I'm dumb. And then, as always, since you've made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Do us a little favor. Help us out and subscribe too. Hitting the like button shares this content with other Chiefs fans who are looking for similar content on YouTube. And then subscribing helps us out because it improves our user base and helps with many other things, including viewership. So I appreciate you all. This is Gary signing out. Y'all enjoy the last preseason game on Friday. I've got reports that both the Chiefs are going to play their starters and the Chargers are going to play their starters. Now, I know the Chiefs aren't playing the Chargers. They're playing the Bears. But there's a little bit of gamesmanship going on this preseason between those two teams. Since they played their first regular season game against each other in Brazil, I think they're not trying to show their hand very much. Justin Herbert has 4 or 5 pass attempts, I think, in this preseason. Mahomes has like 1. And then Omarion Hampton has 4 rushing attempts or something like that. So neither team is wanting to show their hand, and we'll see what happens in this last preseason game, whether or not the Chiefs go and show their hand any, or if they just go out there and try to go through the motions and get through the game. But that's it for this week's video. Y'all take care. It's nice chatting with you, and I appreciate every single one of you for watching the video, being a part of the community, and just being there to listen to me ramble. I appreciate you all. Take it easy.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more, and subscribe to RGR Football.